Hi YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another video on my channel. If this is your guys' first time here, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for being here. So it's been a while since we've talked, guys, but I have this highly requested video that I wanted to put on for you guys today, and I'm really excited because it's a topic that I'm super passionate about. So if you read the title, then we're gonna definitely have some stuff to talk about. I'm gonna try and keep it short, but like I said, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and when I saw the response and the questions and different stuff that I got about this, I just felt like I had to sit down and do a video. I was gonna try to make a document for you guys, but then I was like, no, let's do a video. That way, maybe it can reach a lot more people, and that's the whole point in helping other people. So thank you guys for being here. I've missed you guys. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a few weeks ago, I did a survey on my Instagram because I love to make content that just helps people that you guys can relate to and just see what you guys might need from me, or just, what I can do that can be the most useful. So I did a survey about, what you struggle with the most. Is it working out and exercising, or is it your eating habits? And I was really surprised. I got eating habits back the most answered. So then I decided to do another survey, which I'm going to share with you guys right now, about different categories that, most of us probably struggle with when it comes to eating habits. And what I got back was really surprising to me. And again, that's why I felt the need to do this video for you guys. Okay, so first of all, I want to share with you all a little bit of history of, my background as far as why I've struggled with eating habits and kind of how I've gotten to the place that I am at now, which is the best relationship I've ever had with eating, with food, nourishing my body and all of that. So when I was a little kid, taking it way back, I was not allowed to eat junk food. I never grew up going to McDonald's or to any fast food places. I was not allowed to eat candy on Halloween, maybe just one or two, and then the rest would be basically thrown out. We didn't have chips at home. We didn't have sugary cereals. Everything was home cooked meals, thankfully, or home cooked packed lunches, no Lunchables, no Pop-Tarts, no, cafeteria food. So in that sense, I was very, very lucky, and I'm super thankful because I didn't realize that that wasn't the case for most kids. In that case, I grew up having already a good foundation on what, eating home cooked food is and loving home cooked food, and not knowing at all really what junk food is, or again, Fruit Loops or any of those common cereals that a lot of kids eat. Cocoa Puffs growing up and stuff. I never ate any of that stuff until I was way older. And then I went through a phase where I was allowed to have junk food and there was absolutely no restrictions. So because I hadn't been allowed to eat any of that stuff, I went all out. I ate pizza and just you guys, cheese balls, Cheetos, chips, everything you guys could think of, Twinkies, stuff I had never seen, I had never tried. I became obsessed, and I had maybe a year or two where I just loved junk food, and that's all I would eat. And then obviously that caused me to gain a lot of weight fairly quickly in a very unhealthy way because I was eating a lot of bad stuff. This was when I was a teenager. So then after that, once I realized I had gained all that weight, I developed bulimia, which is, it depends, you can have where you binge eat or where you completely starve and you don't eat at all and avoid food. I had a combination of the two. So I would have these purges of food where I would eat a bunch of unhealthy stuff still, and then I would throw it up or I would not eat. And I became obsessed with Special K products because they were, for weight loss. So I had Special K cereal, I had Special K granola bars, Special K yogurt. Everything Special K, I would eat it all the time. So I was in a really bad place with my eating habits. And when I had that eating disorder, the way that I saw food was as the enemy. I couldn't look at a burger. I got to the point where I couldn't look at a cookie. I couldn't go out with friends, I couldn't have popcorn because I completely made food the enemy. So I became afraid of eating, and then I wouldn't eat. And then I also didn't know what to eat at the time. So that's just a little bit of background on like what started this interest really into eating and how to eat better and what is better for us and all this stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you guys briefly. So based off of that, the first thing that I would say to ask yourself is, how do you see food? Like, when you see a plate of food, whether it's at home, you have to make it, somebody's bringing it to your table. When you go to a place and you see food, how do you see it? You know? So now, for example, if you ask me how do you see food, I see food strictly as fuel for my body. Like a car needs gas, I need fuel. And depending on what that fuel is, depends on how I feel later, how I perform in the gym. You guys know that I love to work out. I go about 5-6 days a week. So that weighs heavily onto what I put into my body, because I know that that's gonna, you know, either make me sluggish, make me feel tired, make me feel better, make me feel heavy, make me feel bloated, all these things. So definitely ask yourself, how do you guys see your food? So because this video was inspired by the survey that I did on Instagram, I am going to talk about the first category of people that voted, and that is time management or eating out is easier. And I really love this category because I feel like it's one that we can all relate to. Eating out is easier short term. Why? Because you walk into a place and the food is done quickly. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to go to the store, you don't have to spend time cooking it, prepping it, whatever. And time management. Now, if you live in the United States and if you have a regular 9-to-5 job, or you have kids or a husband, or just, you know, day-to-day life things that come up, I understand that, you know, a lot of the times during the week we're really like crunched on our time, and there's so much that we have to fit in already. Family, friends, you time, gym, whatever it is, activities. And then you have to think like, and I have to spend an hour in the kitchen cooking and then cleaning up and then whatever. So I get it. However, eating out is, first of all, it's heavy on your bank. And, you know, with how inflation is right now, it's not like buying your groceries is a little bit less. But I just recently went to the grocery store and I bought food for 2 weeks for a really great price. And it's just because I knew what I was gonna get and I made the best of that. So anyways, that's something else. But we really have to be conscious of how we're planning out our days. Like, for example, I used to make the sacrifice of either getting up super early on Sunday, early on my day off. Like Saturday and Sundays were my days off. I used to get up early on Sunday, take out all my food that I was gonna cook for the week, prep it, cook my rice, my chicken, pasta, whatever, put it in containers, and literally go back to bed. Because I wanted to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I didn't want to spend 4 hours, however long it was gonna take me, 2 hours in the kitchen cooking, so I get it. But you need to prioritize what you're putting into your body, because out there, you don't know what you are putting into your body. The menu says chicken, lettuce, whatever, but you don't know if that food has preservatives. You don't know what oil they're cooking it in. You don't know how long it's been there, where they got it from, you know? So like I say about McDonald's, and trust me, I eat chicken nuggets, but we really don't know what's inside of a chicken nugget. So just keep that in mind. And I would suggest that for people that really struggle with time management and, you know, just defaulting to eating out is easier, I would say to make a schedule. Make a schedule and start small, because whenever we set a goal, we set these unrealistic goals that we can't meet, and we say, okay, I'm gonna eat at home Monday through Friday, when you don't even eat at home twice a week, once a week. So be realistic with yourself, set a realistic goal and say, I'm gonna start eating at home 3 days a week. I can do 3 days a week, and I will cook food 3 days, or I will prep it and have it already pre-made at home, take it with me to work, replace one of those meals that you eat out with one of them that you eat at home, and start slow and write it down. You know, make it a habit. things start small and then eventually build into discipline, into consistency. So don't change everything all at once from one day to the next, because it's not going to work long term. It really does. You have to be like a really disciplined person with yourself and know exactly what you're getting at. So that's the first one, guys, and I'm sorry if I look at my notes, but I wrote down a lot of great stuff because, like I said, originally this was going to be a doc that I was going to share with you guys. Second category is I don't know what groceries to get or how to eat for my goals. So that one is a little bit more specific per person. So I'm going to touch on this briefly here. Not knowing what groceries to get and how to eat for your goals goes together. So like, for example, if you want to lose weight or gain muscle or maintain your weight, whichever one of those categories you currently fall into, you have to know how many calories you're consuming right now and what type of calories you're consuming, like how much of that is healthy, how much of it right now is unhealthy, if you're eating out more than you're eating at home. And another thing I want to say with not knowing what groceries to get, something that has helped me a lot and that I recommend for all these categories is to make a weekly menu. Even if at the end of the day you don't stick to it. Listen to me, I know it's like, why would you make it if you're not going to stick to it? But hear me out. Make a weekly menu, and when you shop according to that menu, because then when you open the fridge, you're not going to have a whole bunch of random things. You're like, what can I piece together? What can I make tonight? Like, oh, I guess I have some of this left over and all that. Like, you just complicate the whole situation. Make a weekly menu, like Monday enchiladas, Tuesday taco salad, Wednesday gonna make pasta, Thursday rice and grilled chicken, I don't know, Friday the air fryer, Saturday eat out, Sunday figure it out. But make a menu. That way when you open your fridge, you really shouldn't have an excuse at that point to be like, oh, well, I have nothing to cook or I have nothing to eat, because you already know what you got, you planned it, you did a menu, you have a plan, so you have like a game plan. So I definitely recommend making a menu. And as far as eating for your goals, like I said, you have to know how much you're consuming right now. You have to know what your goal is specifically, and then you have to get with somebody that actually has knowledge on meals and recommend you like how you're supposed to eat. Like I said, I'm not a licensed nutritionist, you guys, but I have designed my own meal plan before, and I have tracked my calories before, everything that is considered your macros, like macronutrients, your protein, your fats, your carbs, and all that stuff. So something that I started out with is this app called MyFitnessPal. I'm sure you guys have heard of it before. It's free to download, and it's a great way to just figure out kind of where you're at. And now the cool thing about the app that they didn't have back then when I got it is that you can actually scan your food with your phone. So if you do happen to eat out, you can scan something and it'll tell you everything that's in that food, how much fat, how much this. So that's something to consider if you have like goals that you want to meet. And there's a lot of help online, guys. A lot of the stuff that I've learned that I am now sharing with you guys today, I learned here on YouTube from some of my favorite people in the industry, in fitness, in working out, bodybuilders. There's just so much free information that we really don't have an excuse to not do our part and look for it if it's something that we're struggling with, if it's something that we need. So yeah, so next category of the survey was, I don't know how or what to cook that is healthier. So not knowing how to cook, I've been there. I feel like in the past 2 years, I feel like I can consider myself like a pretty good home chef. It was bad, guys. It was really bad when I first started to cook. But one of the reasons that I started to cook was because eating out was just not an option anymore. And, I wanted to cook stuff for my boyfriend at the time, now husband. And I just decided to get in the kitchen, and it was scary, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I had to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, and I did throw away a good amount of food that did just not come out right at all. But I started and I tried, and I'm way better now, and I can cook a lot of different things. And I took it up as a challenge, because I was like, I want to be a mom someday, for example. And I was like, what am I going to cook my kids? I was like, I can't just make them spaghetti all the time, which I'm really great at making spaghetti now. It's like one of my top things. But The sun is kind of blinding me. Sorry, guys. So not knowing how to cook is fine, it's fair, but you do have to get in the kitchen. You do have to start trying. Start with the basics. Look up something that you really like to eat, that your mom knows how to make, or whoever it is in your life, and challenge yourself to make it. Look it up and follow the recipe. Have somebody help you, and just try and then try and get better and better and better. And honestly, as far as what to cook that is quote unquote healthier, as I say, like healthier, the thing about that is that I find that when I talk to a lot of people and they ask me questions like, what do you eat, or how do you eat, or do you like chicken and veggies all the time, do you like salads, do you eat bread, I'm just gonna be honest, I eat everything. There is absolutely nothing that is excluded from my diet, and it took me so long and so many failed attempts at diets and just trends that I saw, like cut out carbs for a week and only eat avocados for fat, and just so many things, you know, only cook with olive oil, and don't eat donuts, and don't drink coffee, and avoid the creamer, and don't eat ketchup because it has too much sugar, and don't eat pizza, and all these things that we put all these lines in our head, and it just kills it from the start when you set yourself a goal. And like I said, between my eating disorder and not knowing how to go about this and working out and wanting to eat better, I didn't know where to start. But I would say stay away from diets, stay away from diet culture, and be careful what you follow and what you see on your phone, because I know a lot of influencers, the food they post is not their 24/7. Very few is it their 24/7, but because they have an image to uphold, they're only gonna post their grilled chicken, their grilled salmon, their rice, and their broccoli. And then you try and eat like that with your schedule, and you have to realize that these people are literally being paid to work out, to post these meals, that is their job, and it is not your job to do that. You have to nourish your body, you have to make it through a full day of work, make it through a full day of chores, errands, whatever it is. So let's be realistic, and I would say, me personally, nothing should be off limits, because if you put something off limits and you're like, okay, on the weekend I'll have a cheat day. Like I used to do cheat days and refeed days and all this stuff, and it didn't work for me. What worked for me is learning how to eat in moderation, how to eat intuitively, how to eat for my body type, for my goals in the gym. And it hasn't been easy, but I've found such a great spot right now, guys, with how to eat and how to approach my nutrition and not feel guilt, you know, because when you have an eating disorder, a lot of the times you feel a lot of guilt when you eat something that's like, oh, I shouldn't have ate that, like, why did I eat that, and stuff like that. So again, if the food that we're eating is fuel for our bodies, we shouldn't feel crappy, we shouldn't feel bloated, we shouldn't feel heavy, we shouldn't feel guilty, we shouldn't feel like something is off limits. Like, it's just not it, you know? Like, we're past all that diet trend stuff. So to answer your question, what is quote unquote healthier? My biggest lifesaver with that, honestly, was Pinterest. I would go onto Pinterest and I would look up healthy recipes. And I would get a lot of the same stuff: chicken, veggies, and rice, fish and veggies, healthy pasta, healthier version of this, healthier version, and I'm like, I tried it. I tried it for weeks. I tried it for a month. I tried fish, rice, and this. And I got bored of it, and then I didn't want to eat it anymore. So that is not sustainable. That is not something you can do long term. And what you really want to aim for with eating and with exercise is sustainability long term. That's something that I preach a lot, and I always tell people, I'm like, is what you're doing sustainable long term? So what I realized is that you can eat everything you want, and you can make it as decadent and as creamy and as whatever that you want. You can make fried chicken at home. You can do it. But there are certain recipes that you can tweak a little bit and substitute an ingredient and make it a healthier, better version for our bodies. But if you want to make your homemade nachos with regular nacho cheese and regular corn chip tortillas, then do it. It's also okay, but maybe just don't eat like the entire thing. Portion it out, you know? So Obviously, if you ask like somebody that is a fitness trainer, maybe like a nutritionist, be like, what are healthy foods? They're gonna say, well, eat a lot of vegetables or eat a lot of this or that. And yes, of course, there is healthy foods specifically that we can consume, like kale and celery and grilled, skinless, whatever chicken, and make it in the air fryer. Don't put it in a lot of oil. And those are just little tweaks that you learn along the way. But I would say I just want to save people a lot of time from the beginning. Like, make your recipes, cook the way that you want, but tweak it a little bit. Tweak it until you find a happy medium balance for you. Because there's some recipes, especially like for me in the Latin culture, that we cannot replace stuff because it just wouldn't taste right. Like, try to imagine, I don't know, like just one of your favorite dishes and like substituting something in there, so like stuff that you can make lettuce wraps instead of tacos with the fried tortilla, whatever, or you can make a healthy version of tacos. Like, have fun with it, figure out what works for you, and don't make it boring, because eating healthy, eating healthier, eating better for our bodies isn't boring. It shouldn't be boring. But with so much stuff out there, I mean, on every corner, like here in Vegas, we have so many food chains. We have Cafe Rio, we have In-N-Out, we have Cane's, we have Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Zupas, Chipotle. I mean, just so many like great eating out kind of junk food, fast food places that are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That you come home and you like cook this bland thing and you're like, yeah, I don't want this for the rest of the week. So don't shoot yourself in the foot before you even start. My favorite category, and the one that got the most votes, is junk food lover. So I live with a junk food lover. There, I said it. My husband loves junk food and he can do without it, but if you give him a choice between going out and eating, Wingstop or something with fries and ranch and a burger and bacon and something, he's gonna pick it. Or if there's pizza and a salad, he will definitely pick the pizza. It's fine. Like I said, since I didn't grow up eating junk food, it was pretty easy for me to realize that it's not healthy for us long term, that it is a major problem in our country for obesity and overweight. And like I said, I don't know how they cook it. I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know what's in it. I don't know how they prepared it. Just so many things that come to mind with junk food. And I watched enough series and, documentaries about fast food chains in America that I didn't traumatize myself at all. Like I said, I will go to Wingstop. I love In-N-Out. I like chicken nuggets once in a while, but it's once in a while. I am not a junk food lover. But again, relating to my husband, if you give him a bag of chips, he will eat the whole thing because he loves chips. He loves bags of chips. He loves hot Cheetos, for example. So if you're a junk food lover, I understand how that might be a little bit harder because you actually like that food versus somebody like me who genuinely doesn't like that food. It doesn't make me feel good. And I know that it really doesn't benefit me because of how hard I work in the gym. Because something we have to understand if you're somebody that works out or that has certain fitness or body goals is that exercising is never gonna outrun your diet. It's never gonna overcome or outbeat the way that you eat outside of the gym. So I see a lot of people that they go to the gym, and if they fall into whatever of these categories, they don't have time, they like to eat out, they don't know what to buy, they don't know what to cook, or they love junk food, and they throw it all the way on the weekend basically because they don't eat in moderation because it's an every weekend thing for them. So if you're a junk food lover, I would say traumatize yourself just a little bit, like just a little bit. Do some research, do your due diligence basically on the effects of junk food on the brain, on the body, on children if you're a parent. It's really mind-blowing when we could take the 30 minutes and prep something at home, like all the stuff basically. We just have an air fryer, but I know there's a lot of other stuff that make like cooking a lot easier. Like we have a crock pot as well. And there's a huge list of crock pot recipes on Pinterest. and you don't even have to wash the crock pot because you just grab that plastic bag, you know, and cook in there. So there's options. And you know, if you are somebody that likes to eat junk food, like let's say, obviously not 7 days, I hope not, but if you like to eat junk food 3-4 days a week, set yourself some goals. Set yourself some goals, like I said at the beginning, something that's realistic for you and your family or your partner, and figure out why you're eating a lot of junk food. Because like for me, when I was eating junk food, 1 was because I had never been allowed to eat junk food, and 2, I was emotionally eating. So if you'd realize that after a long, horrible day, you go and you get the tub of ice cream, or you are tired or whatever, and you run to McDonald's because it's late at night to satisfy a craving, just kind of be aware of that and start small, set some goals, say, all right, well, I don't have to eat Chick-fil-A every single day or whatever on lunch. I can maybe eat it once a week. And by the way, I should probably see what the effects of this food are on me. Because again, you're so used to eating it. Like me, for example, when I eat out, I notice that I'm like just in a bad mood, kind of like I'm slumming it. I'm just kind of dragging my feet. And then if the next day I have to wake up and go to the gym, it's totally different than if I had ate whatever it is at home. I will 100% rather make a hamburger at home, make a spaghetti at home, make just my enchiladas at home, make tacos at home, because I bought the ingredients, because I know what's in it. Like I know what oil I use to cook it. I know the components of it. And I feel like that's really important, because the United States just doesn't have a good protocol on the stuff that we allow into our processed foods. And that is basically what junk food is. It's a lot of processed stuff with a lot of preservatives. So this is not to speak badly on it, because like I said, nothing is cut out from my diet. But I would say do some research and kind of like just learn basically what's in the food that you're eating and the effects that it has, like I said. And that should be a little bit of a push, I feel, for you to kind of cut back on how much you love junk food. And also make sure that you realize if you have any bad influences around you. Because sometimes if you live with somebody or you have a partner or a friend or whatever, they're always like, oh, let's go to, I don't know, Taco Bell. Let's go to Taco Bell. And you're like, you already love it. And then you have that person in your ear all the time. You also have to realize, and I want to end with this, guys, that when it comes to our nutrition and what we put on our bodies, for now, and thankfully here in this country, we have a choice. You know, there's some countries that you go to the grocery store and there's literally nothing. They don't have meat, they don't have chicken, or they only have rice or whatever. We have so many options, so many aisles and aisles of food and stuff. And sometimes I go to the grocery store and I judge like a little bit. I'm like, I look at people's cart and I'm like, sugar, 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 processed sugar, sugar, sugar. Because that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. So there has to be diversity, you know. That's why when we're little, we learn about the food pyramid, we learn about all the different categories. And remember that in every situation you have a choice. You know, something that really affects me, for example, I'll share with you guys, is when I get to that point where I'm like so hungry, I have a headache, I've waited all day, it's been busy, I also didn't have time, whatever, and I go out to eat, right? Because that's just the last choice, go out to eat, and I look at the menu, and the fast food, the fried chicken fingers, that's what looks the best to me. And I literally have to stop and I'm like, wait a minute, is this really what my body needs right now after, I don't know, 5 hours, 6 hours of not eating? Is this like the best thing for me? So again, just start small, guys. And if you guys have any questions or if this video helped you, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share it with somebody who maybe is having trouble with their eating habits. And if you guys have anything else that I didn't answer or didn't cover in this video, please go ahead and leave it down below for me, guys. I will also put my social media here for you guys to follow me. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.